What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Netflix new miniseries Griselda. Let's rock this. Now, if you read Netflix's official description of this show, you would see that they call it a fictionalized dramatization. I repeat, a fictionalized dramatization, which is the same excuse that they use for the Crown series, because I remember reading a spokesperson for the Buckingham Palace complaining about the show's inaccuracies, but Netflix said it's not a straight-up biopic, it's a fictionalized dramatization. So it's a plausible deniability or a get-out-of-jail-free card for when you want to take creative license on stories that are based on real life, or in this case, loosely based. So keep that in mind as you're watching Griselda, because I've already watched all 6 episodes of this miniseries, and they basically plastered Narcos tone, style, and direction onto this story about the late drug queen Griselda Blanco. That's all it is. It's as simple as that. If you like Narcos, odds are you are gonna like Griselda. But for me, I'm in the other camp, meaning the whole time watching it, I was like, surely there's gotta be a better biopic about Griselda Blanco out there that hasn't been made yet. This can't be it, right? It's like, remember Ashton Kutcher made that crappy Steve Jobs movie? And then a few years later, Danny Boyle and Michael Fassbender made a actually really good Steve Jobs movie. That's what's happening here. Griselda felt like the Ashton Kutcher version or the poor man's version that we're gonna have to be content with until whenever the better version of Griselda's story comes along in the near future someday. Griselda is inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Griselda Blanco, who created one of the most profitable cartels in history. In 1970s and 80s Miami, Blanco's lethal blend of unsuspected savagery and charm helped her expertly navigate between business and family, leading her to become widely known as the Godmother. Starring and executive produced by Sofía Vergara, the dramatic limited series Griselda is created by Narcos and Narcos Mexico showrunner Eric Newman, who comes to the title alongside Narcos director Andres Baiz, who directs all 6 episodes. The series is co-created and co-showrun by Doug Miro, Ingrid Escajeda, and Carlo Bernard. Also starring Alberto Guerra, Christian Tapan, Martin Rodriguez, Juliana Aiden Martinez, Vanessa Ferlito, and making her on-screen debut, Carolina Giraldo, aka Carol G. So what do I think of Sofía Vergara's performance as the cocaine Black Widow from Colombia? She's a bit of a mixed bag here to me. While I admire Sofia's commitment to this role, and this is obviously a labor of love for her, and I'm sure it was difficult for her to get other roles after Modern Family ended. So you gotta give Sofía credit for taking this on and for proving her acting chops. After all, the real Griselda Blanco was a fellow Colombian, so I'm sure Sofía had been gunning for this for quite some time. But here's the thing. There are episodes when I think she does terrific, and there are episodes when I think she overdoes it. But the hardest pill to swallow for her fans is that Sofía Vergara is way too pretty for this role. Even with the prosthetic makeup on, it sort of fails to make her unrecognizable. I still see Sofía Vergara, but with funnier looking nose. Luckily, not enough people today know or even remember what the real Griselda Blanco looked like, so Sofía kinda gets away with that. But still, her effort in capturing the essence of Griselda Blanco is a bit of a hit and miss. She's more or less a caricature instead of an embodiment. And that goes to my next point actually. The final few episodes feel a bit rushed, as if they had purposely left out a few details or didn't even bother to depict them at all or just skim through them. But then there's an episode focusing on Griselda's paranoia that gets way too overemphasized, like beating a dead horse. And then there are episodes that seem like all they care about is just recreating the events, reenactments after reenactments, without delving into what those scenes actually want to convey. So, storytelling wise, Griselda is annoyingly uneven. But if you are a gangster mobster story fan, and if you've come only to watch people getting whacked left and right, Griselda's got plenty of that bloody graphic shock value. It doesn't pull its punches. And if you are fans of Colombian pop singer Carol G, then you'd be glad to know that her on screen debut here, despite being brief, is not too shabby. Thanks to the girl power theme that permeates throughout the entire show, including the lady detective who's chasing down Griselda. Speaking of which, the feminist themes on this show is the writer's attempt on humanizing the character who otherwise was known as one of history's most notorious, sadistic, murderous criminals. It's kind of like turning the villain into more of a misunderstood survivor. At the same time, the feminist themes are not successful in blanketing or covering up everything else about this show that falls short of compelling. So yeah, overall I give Griselda the rating of 2.5 out of 5. A lot of audiences are probably gonna praise Sofía Vergara's transformative turn, but you can color me not too impressed. So that's it. That's my review of Griselda. Smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with everyone you know. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe. Let's rock this.